Good evening, welcome to the Dugout. We are almost on the verge of the completion of the group stages. What that has done is, as is the case in IPL all the time, kept the top 4 race well and truly kicking and alive. We still don't know who are going to be the top 4. Nobody has a Q in front of their name. 2 teams already have an E in front of their name. And rest, that is the 8 teams, are still fighting it out mathematically. Though if you ask me, I think it's effectively 6 teams which are really in the hunt for that top 4 position. What we're going to do today is a very interesting exercise where we'll try and predict winner of each game. If you can just show our viewers what we're going to be doing. So we know the points table now, then we're going to look at each game and make prediction of each match based on the current form, the ground that they'll be playing, matchup, so on and so forth. And then based on that, make a forecast of which team will eventually end with how many points. That may give us an idea of what could be the top 4. Of course, none of it is foolproof. Even if you were to ask the teams themselves, they won't be able to 100% guarantee a win or a loss, but it will nonetheless give you some sort of an idea of what the eventual table could look like, who could be the top 2 teams and who are the top 4 teams. And this for me is a fun exercise personally because I do it by myself all the time. You know, it's exciting just to see which team can go. Today we'll do it as part of the larger group, not just individually, where you also join us. And in case on occasions we get caught, if it's 2-all in our prediction, then of course you guys, our viewers, our live viewers will step in and vote and help us break that deadlock and eventually arrive at a conclusion. But before we dive into it, because slowly and gradually people will join us, so I'd want majority of our viewers to join in the live stream, and then we'll get down with this exercise. Meanwhile, we'll discuss what are the latest happenings in the world of cricket, and whoever did the morning wrap can tell us.
Gulati, please do the honors.
I think one thing is now pretty much confirmed that you're going to have a new vice captain for the England tour.
How is it confirmed? But I don't know. Just because one report carried it doesn't mean it's confirmed.
No, but vice captaincy is one thing that, you know, it's more of a musical chair within the Indian cricket.
No, so that I may agree with, but how are we to know who the vice captain will be? I don't trust anybody till I see that when the team is announced.
Even I am not going to.
You hear it from.
No, even I am not going to trust the report that's actually doing the rounds. That
report may be true.
Yeah,
as a lot of reports have been true. But I'm saying, like, with certainty we can't say that this is going to happen or not, right?
But eventually it had to happen, even if this report did not come out. That Jasprit Bumrah, when you know that he might not play all the 5 matches in England, there was no point in having different deputies for that 5-match tour. So any which ways, I think what has come out today that Jasprit Bumrah won't really be handed a leadership role for the England tour. According to me, that's not a surprise.
My thing is that what is the importance of a vice captain? So why are we right now so bothered about who the vice captain is?
It's important.
What are going to
Indian cricket may not have necessarily done to a vice captain what should be done, which is elevate to the captaincy position. But that's exactly why you have a vice. We heard it from people in the setup when Shubman Gill was made the vice captain in a recent series. The idea was to have him, in those fielding positions where he's closer to the bowlers. Be it mid-on, mid-off, be always in the ear of the bowler. Just be in those positions where a bowler's under pressure. You put the arm around the bowler, have a talk with him. You understand how big decisions are taken, because not for every decision do you have all 11 players plus the captain meet the coach and the selector or those in charge, and you take certain decisions for keeping the future of the Indian cricket in mind and all. You only have captain, vice captain, the leadership group as so often we call it. So you need people, especially who are young, to be part of that system, to get a feel of what it is to be taking those big decisions and to understand the importance.
They've all been vice captains, before. What is it, the new thing that they're going to... What is the role of the vice captain? Why is it important? I mean, for me, the most important bit of a vice captain is for any particular series, because again, you yourself are saying that in Indian cricket there's never been this tradition that vice captain necessarily becomes a captain. So it keeps changing. So if you're grooming also doesn't make any difference, because eventually that person
It's a bit
may
of a
not-
curse actually in Indian cricket.
So then that is of no use, right? So the only important bit about a vice captain for me is that when the captain is not available in the middle of the series, the vice captain steps in, and there it becomes a very important role, because there's a possibility that the vice captain may captain a few games. Now, generally it is not too much of a concern, because 95, 97, 98, 99% of the time it's the captain who continues. My point is, the fact that we are talking so much about vice captaincy, is that a sign that there is a possibility that you may be looking at a vice captain replacing the captain in the middle of the series?
Absolutely, it is. I think
That is the importance. Otherwise, vice captain could be anybody. Captain will, 5 test
true.
matches captain. Unless you are putting the captain also on notice that it's not guarantee you're going to be captain for those many 5 test matches, whereby then the vice captain role becomes very important, because you are assuming that there is a good 50% chance of him assuming the role of captaincy. Then I think, yes, it's important. And the way it's being reported and spoken about, that's the feeling that I get, that suddenly the role of vice captaincy has become important, which was never the case, primarily because you are envisioning a situation. I'm not saying it's 100% sure. Let's say if your captain is to score runs and be successful, then I don't think you exercise that option. But there's a 50% chance of that happening. Then there's a 50% chance of, it going south for the captain, maybe with the bat or maybe with the results of the test, in which case there's a 50% chance of you elevating the vice captain. And if that is indeed the case, then I agree with you. Then I'm on the same page. Let's talk about the vice captain. Let's make it an important decision. You can't take it lightly. Otherwise, you would have told me that, if everything was stable, your captain is going to be there, and mostly captains are batters, they're not going to get injured. Then I'd say, how does it matter? Do a draw of lots, make anybody the vice captain.
But why would you want to pick a captain when you're entering in a new cycle? That too, when a captain has so much uncertainty over him. Either if you would have been at the fag end of a new cycle, then it would have been different. It would have been a very different situation. But you're just entering a new cycle, and in the previous cycle already a lot of opportunities were given to that team. I think the New Zealand series and then the BGT. I think that was enough. Said and done. That was more than enough. I think that was the final sign that it's time to make that transition. Why do you want to continue that moving ahead in England as well?
I don't know.
I
It's a
had
good
this-
question. And that is what surprises me. So you're going back to square one.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going back to square
I
one.
think if you're so uncertain about that, that you're ready to drop the captain, whoever you're planning to make, that's why you're making somebody vice captain who can handle that duties in between the series. That does not really make any
That does
sense.
not augur well for the team.
And it does not make any sense. In that I don't expect a team that's sort of dominating world cricket at this point to make such decisions. It's really baffling for me.
And see, the thing is, there is an precedent there. There is an example there. I had told you while the BGT was on that what happened with the Indian team in change of leadership during BGT really was not the only, but one of the contributing factors as to why India, despite winning the first test match, went on to lose the series, because you started off with one captain and then you changed the captain after that. And there was an interim period where you had won the first test, where you should then be preparing. You had a practice game and you needed to be preparing and firming up plans for the coming series. You just had a very different effect, where there was confusion reigning in the camps of the Indian team, where nobody really had any idea. Nobody really had any idea or sat down to plan what will be the future. And that has happened to you once. It's affected you, and it eventually ended up in you losing that series from there. Now, once it's happened, why do you want to put yourself in a situation where you are allowing yourself that it might be? I'm not saying 100% that is the case. You could have a fantastic series, your regular captain and Rohit has a great series, scores run, that's another thing. But you're allowing yourself a 50% chance of repeating what happened in BGT, which caused you to lose from leading 1-0 and probably make it even worse. Why would you want to do that is beyond me.
See,
but I
if you-
think I'll tell you why they're doing it. It's after the Champions Trophy, everything has changed.
See, if you want to make a new vice captain, and assuming it's not Jasprit Bumrah, then might as well make that, vice captain the leader of the team. Might as well, have him as the leader of the team for the England tour, because if you are having Rohit Sharma as the captain for the whole of England series, it is a recipe for disaster. Let's be very clear about it. Rohit Sharma, the test batter, hasn't inspired any confidence in the last 10 matches or so. So has been his leadership. It is always going to be better to start a new WTC cycle with a new captain. Even if you lose in England 3-1 or 4-1, it is absolutely fine. At least the point is that you are going to be building a new team or a new captain for the future. And that's where, if you have a new vice captain here, and if he has to replace Rohit Sharma after 2 or 3 test matches, assuming Rohit does not do well in the first couple of matches, it's going to put even more pressure on that vice captain. It could be Jaiswal, it could be Pant, it could be Shubman Gill. So if they come into a situation wherein they have to take charge of the team after the first couple of matches, wherein India are already 2-0 behind, and Rohit is now out of the team, it puts more pressure.
No, but how are we, two things here, how are we assuming that it's going to be Rohit only who's going to lead the team, continue to lead the team? And secondly, I don't think that's the thought process that you'd want to, you're thinking that the vice captain will have to take over the captaincy in between the series, because if that would have been the case, I think it would have gone to Jasprit Bumrah, because Jasprit Bumrah is not a certainty for 5 test matches, but he'll definitely play 3 or 4, or he can even play 5 test matches. We saw that in the BGT as well. So if that would have been the case, I think it would have been Jasprit Bumrah who you would have been giving vice captaincy. And as far as, and also you would have given vice captaincy to somebody who you think might be the who can take over captaincy from Rohit Sharma. In that sense, I think Gill is way behind. Before Gill, there is Rishabh Pant, there is Jasprit Bumrah. These 2 players who are ahead in the captaincy race as of now. Maybe you're giving vice captaincy to Shubman Gill only because you want him in that leadership group.
I don't know if it's Shubman.
I have an unpopular thought. I feel what the BCCI could also have learned from the BGT is that you need to look past a Jasprit Bumrah in terms of any captaincy role or vice captaincy. Basically, he can't fit into the leadership group because...
So, does everyone agree that you could start that the decision not to continue with Bumrah as captain is the right one?
Yes.
Why?
Nothing against Jasprit Bumrah, but if it's the same metric that you apply to a Hardik Pandya as well, and if that's the philosophy that somebody who's not fit for an entire tour can't be the captain, you've done that in the past, by the same logic, Jasprit doesn't fit the bill.
But is that the right logic?
Partly is. If I don't know if a player is giving me the whole series, I can't have ideological shifts. I can't see, every captain brings certain ideology, brings a certain personality to the team, and it can't change in the midst of a series, and it can't happen if I'm playing 2 big series in a year. Then I can't have that happen. So I need somebody. While Jasprit Bumrah's inputs will be valued a lot by this team, and I think they should keep coming because he is a senior member of the team now, but going by what the team needs, I think a team needs a stable leader, and yeah, for that reason it can't be Bumrah.
Yes, I don't think Bumrah should captain India, because it's unfortunate. Ideally, I want him to captain, but knowing his fragile body, he has had multiple back injuries now. So you want a stable leader. As Nikhil also said, at the beginning of the discussion, the captain has to play 99% of the matches. Now, in case of Bumrah, can he do that consistently for the next 3-4 years or so? I'm not really sure about it.
I personally don't mind Bumrah becoming the captain. I think he has done it and shown it in the BGT. My thing is that I do understand that you're not going to be playing maybe with Bumrah. There is uncertainty if he's going to be playing the whole series or not. But as far as the ideology is concerned, I think because the vice captain will be in the leadership group as well. Even if Jasprit Bumrah is not playing 1 or 2 test matches in a 5-match, and how rarely do we see 5-match test series? It's very, very rare. We saw it in the BGT, we are going to see it now. But the only thing is that I don't think the ideology shifts. Jasprit Bumrah will be there. Whoever is the vice captain can really, really take it forward from there, and he can definitely get a new philosophy, but I don't think they won't be on the same page, the captain and the vice captain. So I don't mind Bumrah becoming the captain. And also, why Jasprit Bumrah only plays when it's important. important, to be very honest, and that's how it should be with Bumrah, because he's very prone to injuries. White ball he only plays when there's an ICC tournament around, one or a couple of series before the tournament and then the tournament. He's predominantly focusing on test cricket, and that's where he tries to play as much as possible. Out of those 10 test matches that you played, 5 at home, 5 away, he played 7 or 8 if I'm not wrong. So he's playing 90% games he is still playing, and he has definitely shown that he can definitely be that captain, he can be that leader. He has shown his A game comes when he's given that extra responsibility as well, and he did it really well. So I think at this point, if somebody is ready to take that captaincy over, I think it should be Jasprit Bumrah, because apart from him, nobody. Rishabh Pant, I know he's had a great test. He has had a great test career, but off late he has not shown that form. Shubman Gill, there is still, you cannot give Shubman Gill the captaincy so early in his career. He's still trying to adjust at that number 3 position. So things, by the time you make Shubman Gill ready, till then I think Jasprit Bumrah, for this cycle at least, won't be a bad option.
Without wasting too much of your time, +1 to whatever Harshit said for the Jasprit Bumrah. No, because he said everything. I don't want to repeat that. Completely agree with what he said. So I'm also okay with no Jasprit Bumrah as captain. That takes me to the second question. If not Jasprit Bumrah, who's the best candidate? And maybe the three of us who pick somebody other than Jasprit Bumrah can answer that.
Rishabh Pant.
Because he's already had his say that he would not.
I think Rishabh Pant fits the bill here. The BGT was an aberration where he did not really do well with the bat. So Rishabh Pant is ticking, most of the boxes. He's very good behind the stumps. Has been, one of India's best test batters. Apart from that, unfortunate accident wherein he missed 1 year of action. But keeping everything in mind, who is actually ticking most of the boxes, it is Rishabh Pant, because Shubman Gill's Sena record hasn't really inspired any confidence. You had to drop him, midway the Border Gavaskar Trophy. That also isn't a good sign. So one candidate who comes to my mind is Rishabh Pant.
+1 on that. I think we've touched upon this earlier as well, and Pant looks more of a certainty to start in the 11, not Shubman Gill. His numbers were good last year overall, was primarily because he played quite a few matches in India. That's where the average got some course correction, but otherwise away numbers have been a bit of a worry, and I'm not sure if he's a guaranteed starter in most situations when you're playing away from home. Rishabh Pant is a definite starter, so Rishabh Pant.
As far as, whether it's Pant or Gill or whatever, as far as, the experience is concerned, I think a lot of them are. And then we've had many cases of captains coming in at that age and doing well. So somewhere or the other, you have to take a call. But if I was to choose between a Gill and a Pant, because apart from Bumrah, these seem to be the only contenders, I'd also do +1. I'd go with a Pant over Gill, primarily because Pant, you don't have doubts over his test match starting 11. Shubman has been outstanding in the last couple of years for India in test match cricket, one of the highest averages. The only question mark comes in overseas conditions, especially Sena conditions, where he's really not come into his own. That's not to say that he'll be dropped. He'll of course start no matter where you play. He's also a show shot starter. The thing that goes against Rishabh is his IPL form, but I'm not going to mix format. Just as we had a discussion yesterday where none of us even picked Rishabh as the backup wicketkeeper in the T20 squad, simply because of his poor T20 form. By that same logic, I think you're not going to mix formats, and he is red ball, one of the best batters that you've had. So he starts all your games, no matter where you play, and he's shown to be a sharp, astute captain. So yeah, I'll go with Pant on that front. Okay, with that, we'll move on to what we are here to discuss.
Teams that concern and they represent Rishabh Pant, Shubman Gill.
All of them will come.
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma not as captain, but as a player, everyone will come into play. This. So yeah, let's begin the exercise. For those of you who are joining us live, just a reminder, we're going to be picking results of each game based on our prediction and matchups and grounds that they're playing in, and then try and reach the points we think each team will garner at the end of the league stage. Might give us a picture of what the top 4 and top 2 are going to look like. As I mentioned earlier, we'll go with the majority. In case there's a dead heat here, then we turn to you, our live audience, and you put in your comment section, we'll ask you to put one team if we get caught between two teams, and then whatever the majority comments come by, we'll pick that particular team. Okay, so let's start with the first game, and that's going to be RCB LSG. Okay, where is this game being played?
Ekana.
This is being played at Ekana. So RCB playing away from their home. Yes, who wants to start? Okay.
I think irrespective of the conditions, the ground, for me, it's going to be RCB who will take 2 points here.
Yeah.
I'm going +1 on that on RCB because, of course, this season them
And it'll be historic.
magically.
It'll be
And
historic. 7 out of 7 wins it'll be for them away from home. They've already gone ahead and erected their flag every away condition that they've played in. Just the one frontier that they need to put their flag, that's the Ekana. That'll be historic.
Yeah, so for me too, I think RCB the much better team than Lucknow Super Giants. They have a lot of problems of their own. Again, as I said, the only time that they can win is when either
Nicky
Pooran
P.
or Mitch Marsh fire, and they've also been having a lean patch. And away from home, RCB are looking very good. So Shashwat can pick his prediction, but it won't matter.
My vote
But you
won't
could, but you
really
could pick.
matter.
No, it doesn't matter. Let people know.
I have a feeling that LSG might just win that game, and the reason
Am I not surprised? I mean, any team playing RCB will pick.
No, nothing like that. In the rest of the games, I think RCB will win. But in just that LSG game, I think it's going to be a little tricky because the LSG bowlers might just trouble the RCB batting a little bit. The middle order has done. Krunal Pandya has played that knock, but again, as soon as Virat gets out, I think that batting order looks a little much weaker. I think Virat Kohli has
little or much?
quite weak.
Because the moment that he started
Middle order
talking,
looks little much weak.
I made an
Little or
observation. The moment that he started talking, Pawan started shaking his head.
No, he should not be. He should not be surprised.
No. It's nothing like that. I just feel that as soon as Virat Kohli is not in that batting lineup, that 50% I think.
But he is not playing that.
He is playing that game. But as soon as he does.
What is this assumption?
If Virat is not in the
Not
batting order, but he
so
will
I
be
didn't
in
get the
bat-
assumption. What sort? As in, he doesn't have a good day.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a good day, then the RCB team looks very different. So.
Okay, so anyway, 3 have picked
that's
RCB. So no, but we want to know your thoughts. It doesn't matter. You've lost this. So 2 points then to RCB. Okay, and just give 0 to LSG, please, in the first game there. Yeah. So we know that we've done each team. Okay, let's get to the next game, and this will be PBK's DC. Okay, this is going to be played in Delhi's adopted home. Punjab's adopted home of Dharamsala. Yeah. Maybe we'll start with you first, so that even if it's a different opinion, it's still valid.
Yeah. PBKs for me, and the only reason for that is that the conditions over there are really flat. The Punjab Kings batting order is in tremendous form. Everything is starting to click for them, and like I mentioned yesterday also, I feel they still haven't had the best game. I think Yuzi Chahal hasn't really fired. He's had that one hat trick and all of that.
Hat-trick.
But no, it's not his best season till now.
So on a flat deck, you think he can still have that best day?
Yeah. He can have that, and I think Punjab's batting lineup is really dangerous on such conditions. Whereas for Delhi Capitals, Abhishek Porel, Faf is somebody who can definitely be that X factor, but alone he can't do much. Then Karun Nair, Akshar Patel, these batters can't really win you games where you have to do the majority of the things just by batting out. So for me, it's going to be PBKs that day.
Opposite opinion. I think yes, PBKs have had some good.
Got anything to do with the jersey that you're wearing?
Not really. If when I look at the fixture list for Delhi, the one opposition where I feel points can be picked up against is the Punjab team, and especially because of the venue that you're playing at. Yes, I know the one match that they played there, they won that match. But I don't look at it as the toughest fixture that Delhi have out of the 4 fixtures that they're left with. And I don't agree necessarily with Sashwa that Karun Nair can't win you games, and some of the other batters. Porel, I'm a little disappointed with as well. But I think Delhi have the depth as well to match up Punjab Kings. They bat just as deep as the last batter is a Shashank. We've got Ashutosh over there, so I think depth wise I'm happy with what Delhi have to offer, and I think Delhi can match them toe to toe.
Okay.
First of all, it's going to be a nail biter. That's what at least my prediction is.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at the matchups that I've probably created in my mind. I'm going to go with Shashwat here. It's Punjab Kings who will probably seal the win. And the only reason why I do it, because when I see the matchups, middle order, both teams very strong. Bowling attack, both teams are pretty good. Spin attack is also still fine. Maybe, Delhi Capitals are slightly ahead of Punjab Kings here because they have Kuldeep, Vipraj, and here you have just Yuzi Chahal. You don't have Maxwell now, and Harpreet Brar has been pretty on and off. But still, where I feel Punjab Kings are slightly or maybe even more ahead of Delhi Capitals, it's their top order. For Delhi Capitals, the top three haven't really got those runs. On the other hand, for Punjab Kings, the top three have actually got truckloads of runs, and things can really change today after the SRH DC game. But just going by the current form, I feel it is going to be Punjab Kings winning over DC.
Kuldeep Yadav in the first 4 games had 8 wickets, and then in the next 4 games he had 2 wickets.
Economy?
Economy, I don't know, but wickets he didn't pick.
Okay, we're going to have another occasion where it's going to be a clear-cut winner, because I also picked Punjab over Delhi in this game, primarily because of the conditions. And this is a ground where stronger batting teams tend to do well. DC, I think, has a good mix of batting and bowling, but Punjab, I think, the way superior team when it comes to batting, and a high-scoring ground. The stronger batting team with the depth that they have in their batting, I'm going with Punjab. Also, they will be aware of those conditions more than other teams, because they've played a game there. So yeah, I'm going with Punjab. So that's also 3-1. So in which case we've had why are you giving it a dash? First bit is only 0, na? Acha, okay. It's their second game after. Okay, they're playing a game before that. Okay, so yeah. So that's 2 points for Punjab and 0 for Delhi Capitals. Next up, we've got Mumbai taking on Gujarat Titans, and this game is in?
What's the venue? Wankhede.
This game is played at the Wankhede Stadium. Ooh, it's a tough one. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I think it's a GT win. When it comes to flat conditions, and that's what you expect at the Wankhede, I know that's exactly what Mumbai would want, but that's exactly what GT would also want. You in fact put them in a tricky situation on a tricky pitch. There also they've passed with flying colours at the Wankhede, where the top three have been going big. You expect exactly the same to happen. And when I look at the bowling quality that GT have, I think we've seen enough in this tournament that GT, just the better all-round team, or one of the top 2 for me so far in the tournament. So I see GT winning that contest.
For me, it's Mumbai Indians. I think Mumbai, if there's one thing, that Mumbai were very sharp at in their previous game against Rajasthan Royals, it's that they knew that even after getting to 220, it's not a safe total in Jaipur. So what they needed to do was to get the top order very cheaply. And they did 1, 2, 3 or maybe 5 times better by getting 5 wickets in the power play. This time around, MI would know that GT's top order would hold the key. You get a couple of wickets early on, again, with Bumrah, Bolt and Deepak Chahar, swinging it in. This is where GT would be, I think, in much trouble, because their middle order is pretty weak. It's yet to be tested in those tough conditions. So this is where MI would have an advantage of over GT. One scenario that I'm looking at. So for me, Mumbai get a win.
It's going to be really, really tough. It's going to be a very good game, but for me as well, I'll go with Gulati sir. It's going to be Mumbai Indians. The only reason being that they're playing at home. I think the conditions, when it comes to this is also like the game at Dharamshala here as well. It's going to be who has the more firepower in their batting, and I think Mumbai Indians by far have that, despite the fact that Shubman Gill is striking at 167 this season. Sai Sudarshan in the previous game hit that 22 ball 49 if I'm not wrong. So he's also sort of showed that he can play with that higher strike rate. Then they have Josh Butler, we know what he is capable of doing. But just pure firepower, I think the Mumbai Indians have much more. Hardik Pandya is also firing now in the later stages of that innings. Naman Dheer is doing well. Surya Kumar Yadav is amongst the runs at the top. Rohit Sharma is doing well. Ryle Rickleton is scoring those runs. So I think Mumbai Indians win that game for me.
Oh, it is an absolute dead heat for me. And I'll tell you, and this is the only one where I'm not picking a winner. So I'm going.
But you have to pick a winner.
No, I'm not. So which means
Why? But you have
So-
to.
Yeah, like this, even I
Yeah,
would want
even
to
we
pick a
can
winner.
also do
I
it
am
then.
also
you
giving
can do
that.
it if you want, but I can't. I'll tell you why. So
you,
what?
you can pick, and if it is
No,
dead
what-
heat even after your vote,
No, it is a dead heat for me. I cannot. I'm going 0.5, which means one team ends up with 2.5, one ends up with 1.5. So you really don't need to go to the audience and you can give 2 points to MI. But I'll tell you why I'm saying dead heat, and I'm putting it simply. I mean, of course, without getting into details, if I'm just looking at a macro picture, GT MI, the better team is GT this season. But MI, because they're playing at home more and tend to do well at home and no conditions better. Had this been out of Wankhede, I would have gone with GT. But it's in Wankhede, it just evens out everything for me. It's a 50-50 game for me. And so I give 0.5 to both teams, which means 2.5 for MI. 1.5 for GT, which means 2 points to GT based on our collective wisdom. If you ever reach, I don't think I'll have this sort of a feeling for any other game, but this one I just could not pick. So okay, so GT lose out on that one. MI get the 2 points. Okay, now we get to DC SRH, right? That's our next game.
and today's match.
And oh yeah, it's today's match as well. I'll start on this one since I did not pick a winner, the last one. DC, and where is this game being played?
Hyderabad.
In Uppal. Okay, that makes things a bit interesting, but I think I know that SRH is alive. They want to do something. They've had a holiday as well, and
They've
they
lost
want-
after
I
that.
know, but that's not had the desired result. But I think DC the better team, and even if it's in Uppal, I'm going with DC. So my vote goes to Delhi Capitals, thus Capital for this game.
+1 to what Nikhil has said.
+2 to what you have said. I
Okay.
think Delhi, until and unless.
So it doesn't
people-
matter what Harshit says, but
Yeah.
we'll take his opinion.
Until and
nonetheless.
I'm wearing the jersey today. I have
No,
to
but
be-
without the jersey.
Yeah. Also, again, the reason that you mentioned, you look at which the more holistic team is. That's Delhi, and I said there are two fixtures that I see Delhi winning. Punjab was one. This is the other one that I have hopes on, and I see Delhi winning today.
Okay, to our next game. We have a lot of games to do, by the way. It's KKR CSK. Where is this game being played? At the Eden Gardens, a high-scoring encounter.
On current form, assuming rain stays away, everything stays fine. For me,
Rain we can't predict.
yeah, KKR winning. this.
Even the Met department cannot.
KKR.
KKR are back in form. I think that 1-run win is going to be good for their confidence.
Plus, I think the ground
Yeah.
also suits them. Had it been a tricky pitch and a tricky ground, maybe as CSK comes into the picture. I know some of the youngsters are firing, but I think KKR too much firepower. This is a ground where now they're getting used to the conditions. They now kind of know what the total that they get. They're getting their batting order right. Finally, Russell is getting a chance to bat. I think the 11 also they're finally getting it right and are in good form. Yeah, I think, and CSK just the season that they've had, not much to choose from. So I think it's 4-0 in favor of KKR. So 2 points to KKR, and you could give CSK is not on our table because they're not in the race. So it's 0-2 CSK. Turning our attention to the next game, that is RCB versus SRH.
And this is at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. For me, I think it is first of all going to be another nail biter, but I expect Sunrisers Hyderabad to win this.
Ooh, I was having a sneaking feeling that there will be some sort of.
I have the similar feeling.
See, although the pitch at Chinnaswamy is not the same that it was last year, but then I think small ground could really work in Sunrisers Hyderabad's favor. Maybe the time for this team to just give something their fans to laugh about, get to a score of 250, 260, then defeat RCB. Just the ground conditions and the history that they had last season, for me, SRH to do it.
I'm going +1 on that. And this is a game I was looking at. Usually you tend to go with a team that's performing better, but I just feel, one, because RCB has not had a great time at their home ground. SRH will enjoy these conditions. And as you know with SRH, they've been awful this season, I completely agree, but they're erratic as well. And they will. And they perform much higher to the expectations. It's also a gut feeling. I just had a gut feeling that this is going to be that one of those games where you will have an upset, because SRH beating RCB this season is going to be an upset. And I also go with that. So 2 votes.
Same. Make that 3.
3 votes. So just put 2 points. We'll get your opinion.
No, according to me, I think it's going to be RCB. Most likely, it's going to be RCB at home over there, because I know that it looks very intimidating that the Sunrise Hyderabad will really fancy the conditions over there. And as far as their batting is concerned, it's just the top two who can really destroy the bowling lineup of the Royal Challengers Bengaluru. Klassen is another one, but these are the three batters they are riding on. So one needs to have an outstanding day, absolutely outstanding day. That's the only case when they could win. So according to me, I think RCB takes those 2 points.
Okay, so 2 points go to RCB in this game. 3-1, based again on our collective wisdom.
No, SRH.
No, it
SRH.
should be 0.
sorry,
SRH.
Yeah, it
sorry,
should be
SRH.
0. Yeah.
Yeah, 0 for RCB,
0 for RCB.
2 for
1 RCB and 3 SRH. The one.
Because we don't have SRH on the table, apologies for that. Yeah, 0 for RCB.
This
So,
next game, Punjab Kings versus Mumbai Indians at the Wankhede Stadium.
No, Dharamshala.
Can we check, Pawan?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Dharamshala. Okay.
and this is again going to be a game that MI will also enjoy. They'll fancy the conditions in Dharamshala on 2 counts.
Afternoon
One because it is a place where you get high scoring encounters, and MI have many match winners with the explosive batters. 2, this is a game where even if you have an afternoon game, you'll still get swing because of colder climes, thinner air. You get swing here. It helps fast bowlers. That is another facet in which Mumbai are very strong. This is another close.
Don't go
I'll
for
start.
0.5.
I'll start. For me, I think it's going to be the Punjab Kings again, and the only reason is everybody in that batting lineup is firing. Who isn't, you tell me? Shreyas Iyer, Nihal Vadera, whoever is coming, their intent is very
Same
clear.
Mumbai, yeah.
Yeah, same with Mumbai, but the only thing is that firstly they're still trying to get to the peak. Mumbai Indians have already, and I give the spin bowling of Punjab Kings a little bit edge ahead of the Mumbai Indian spinners. And the reason for that also is that even yesterday Rishabh Pant also said this, that the wicket from the top is slightly soft, so it might just break. So I'm assuming that by then the wicket might just be stopping a little
No,
bit.
they have different surfaces.
Yeah, they have different, but I think just in general it might just be, or even on a flat track, I'm saying even if it's a flat track, I think I give the Punjab Kings spinners an edge on that. So with Punjab Kings, see, have just come in form. We can't be sure that if they're going to own the rest of the season or not. But with Punjab Kings, Nihal Vadera all throughout the season has had impactful contributions. At the top, Prav Simran, Priyansh Arya are the best openers of this IPL so far. Shreyas Iyer, we know now he knows how to score those runs. So once he starts scoring runs, he doesn't really stop that flow. Shashank Singh, more or less on every occasion, he has finished the game for the Punjab Kings. The battle, Marco Jansen, Azmatullah Omarzai, we were talking about yesterday. He'll come at 9 or 10, I don't know.
8.
8. At 8 he'll come. He bats at 4 for Afghanistan. So I think they're just a team to beat this season, and they are going to beat Mumbai Indians. It's going to be a close game, but I think Punjab Kings for me.
Punjab for me as well. Just the better team. And I think Mumbai at some point will run out of steam. They're already on a 6-match winning streak. It needs to end at some point. I don't see them going all the way. And let's not forget, of those 6 wins, most of them have come against oppositions that are placed below them. This is now the run-in for them is such that they play teams that are placed above them. And I see them not necessarily always performing that well.
For me, it's a dead heat, 0.5 each.
Which means
Well,
that
you
doesn't
opened that
matter
option.
whatever I say. Punjab have won this because 2.5 you've created. But nonetheless, I'll share my opinion. For me, also very close, but I'm not going 0.5. I am also going with PBKS. I think, as I said, they'll be used to these conditions much more than all other teams. This will be their 3rd game at Dharamshala, and they have everything that is needed. I spoke about fast bowling, which is MI's strength as well, but even what Arshdeep did in that game, he's also going to be very tough for the Mumbai batters to handle, and Punjab's batting. It'll be a close encounter, I agree. Almost I was divided on 50-50, but if I had to just pick a winner with a slight edge, I'm going with Punjab. So yeah, that's the game. Next game.
Should we go to GT instead?
Yeah, because Mumbai Indians, PBKS, it's done.
Yeah.
They'll cut each other out.
Sorry?
PBKS, Mumbai, this next game is PBKS. And we just did PBKS.
Yeah, so I'm going
we'll
to
go
GT only.
GT,
So
yeah.
I was going to GT versus DC. That is the next game.
This
that
is
we
at
have.
the Arun Jaitley Stadium.
Yes, next Sunday.
Tight game. Very tight game. I hope so, and I think as well. I think Delhi Capitals should be winning that game. They've played. I know that their home record isn't that great, but I think just the better. I just hope that it's DC, because evenly poised teams, both of them very similar batting styles, very similar approach to the games, very similar teams in that sense.
Not similar. GT have been a far better team.
Yeah,
this
GT have been
season.
I'm saying as far as approach is concerned towards how they are playing their cricket this season.
I
is
think
very
that's
similar.
also different. Yeah,
No.
there's a completely different philosophy to the two teams. There's one that's getting you runs right at the top.
No,
The
by
other,
similar philosophy, I meant that as soon as there are 220, 230 to chase, both teams can't do it, according to me.
I don't think GT's had that problem.
GT weren't able to chase in the first game.
Yeah, but that's
240.
the
They
only
got
time.
235 all.
Yeah, that's why they are.
The
the
bowling
They've
also
not
the-
had that problem like that.
Yeah, might GT.
I think
might
they've
not
had,
have that.
they have a very different setup. Anyway, his vote goes to Delhi.
it's a 50-50 for me. Because I feel Delhi have something to throw at GT. The last game I remember as well, and that happened to be the first instance of Delhi in their history scoring 200 plus and not being able to defend it. The previous match that took place at the Ahmedabad stadium, Delhi had scored I think 209 and you failed to defend those runs. Don't think that's always going to be the case. GT ended up being superior. I think 50-50 for me. It's not going to be a runaway win for either team. So I'm going 50-50 on this one.
I think Gujarat Titans to win this.
It's
So-
one and a half, 1.5.
1.5. So I have the deciding vote, and I mean, for me, not very close. I'm giving GT a win here. I think the much better team throughout in their bowling, batting. If I pick up any facet of the game, there's a gap between the two teams this season, and they'll have it's going to be played in Delhi, and their coach itself, the man from Delhi. If they ever need any inside knowledge, local knowledge, Ashish Nehra should be there to help them in doing that as well. So, but I think at the moment between the two teams, GT the much stronger of the two, and conditions here also kind of will work in their favor. So, yeah, I'm going with GT in that encounter. That takes me to the next game. That's KKR SRH.
KKR, irrespective of the conditions.
Where is this game being played? This is in
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. Uppal
KKR
Stadium.
for me, irrespective of the conditions. On current form, I think it has
Yeah.
to be KKR.
Even I'm going with KKR.
KKR.
I think the one upset that I was giving SRH, I gave them against RCB. It's not going to happen very often. I think between the two teams, this is 4-zip. All of us have gone with KKR. SRH game, we've gone with KKR. So 2 points to them, 0 for Sunrisers Hyderabad. That gets us to the next game, LSG GT.
This is in Ahmedabad.
Yeah.
Pawan, can you confirm?
Yes, this is in understand the condition, and I don't want to stress on the strengths of the team because we've spent a lot of time talking previous. So I think they were punching above their weight. Tough. So yeah, GT for me in this one.
Plus one.
Plus 2.
Okay, so we've got 4. LSG gets 0 there. Yeah, GT get 2 and LSG gets 0. Okay, I think we are now almost, we are doing the last round of games, and we start with an RCB KKR.
At Eden.
This is
It's at Eden, na?
at
Bengaluru.
in
Oh, it's in Bengaluru.
Chinnaswamy Stadium. RCB KKR. Oh my God, this is a 50-50 game if there is ever any.
I'll start there.
Okay.
That's how. For me, KKR, I think high scoring encounter, very clear for me. It's going to be a high scoring encounter, and that is where the RCB team will struggle a little bit. Kolkata Knight Riders, slowly and gradually things are coming in place for them. So I think, and the batting lineup is now finally in the 11th game. It took them 11 games to find the right combination in that batting order. We saw that yesterday, and I think against RCB. By that time, I think all batters will somehow would have gotten some runs here and there, and they will be really. And by that time, they would be seeing the chance of getting into a playoff. They would have won 2 games if everything goes as per how we are predicting. So they'll be very, very close to that mark of qualifying. And I think what RCB did to CSK last time, we might see KKR doing it to RCB this time.
Oh my God. Okay.
It is KKR just on one factor: better wicket-taking spinners. In case of RCB, you have Krunal and Suyash who can bowl those effective spells, but the wickets column isn't really more. But in case of Varun Chakravarti, Sunil Narine, and if you have Moeen Ali also who can take a couple of wickets, for me it is KKR just
Moeen
because
Ali
of
yesterday though.
yeah, he got smacked for sixes, but then he has bowled decently in this IPL. So just because
in
of
Chinnaswamy, they won't play Moeen, I guess.
yeah, it could be.
They will not.
I think it could be Andrik.
And have a batter this is
I think the little drama that turning out to be the team giving us all that drama, and maybe I would have said something otherwise had they not won yesterday, but that thrilling win that they secured, just 1 run. I think KKR are up to something special.
Ooh, for me, I thought whatever. I was gonna go again. Second game, 0.5. I'll tell you why. The better team on paper, KKR. Better team in form, RCB. That's what I saw. The team in form is RCB, getting everything right, and KKR have been, found wanting in a few areas. So that point I gave RCB. But then on purely on paper, if I was to see man is to man, then KKR. So it was a dead heat for me. I would have given it 0.5, but doesn't matter. It's 3 anyway in favor of
one thing. If we are assuming that KKR would have won the next 2 games, then that will be their 3rd game. By then the form then would have.
it would have been, but I'm saying overall, no. What I meant was that through the season, they've had like couple of games, 2 wins, and then lost the 3rd one, or 1 win, they look good and lost another one. They could happen, I know, but just basis on what I'm seeing now. But again, as I said, it's a 50-50 game, could have gone anywhere. Anyway, we've got that sorted. So KKR then end up winning 3. Yeah. So the next game is Punjab versus Rajasthan Royals.
Punjab Kings.
Punjab.
Too strong.
I'm not adding anything.
yeah.
This is nobody is giving RR any chance. Despite, what if Rehan Parag gets 95?
Still lost now.
True. So that was also there. So yeah, again, without spending too much time there, Punjab also getting 3 wins out of 3 in their remaining games. That is getting really excited. Now to the MI versus DC encounter.
That makes your top 4.
MI versus, where is this game being played?
Bangalore.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And now, going by our predictions, DC, MI both have 14 points. This is their last game.
And this is effectively,
No, MIS 16.
MI have 16.
that does it. We'll get to the totals later. Go. Who's going first? Gulati, I think you should start. The 2 Delhi fanboys will take time to gather their thoughts.
I've decided.
Do I have to apologize to you both?
No,
Because
no,
for
it's
me
true,
it is
it's true.
Mumbai Indians. I think it's the ground. You have you already have the likes of Bolt, Bumrah. There's Deepak Chahar. I think on such a ground, they know the conditions very well. This is easily the best pace bowling attack that any team has in this IPL. Mumbai Indians.
For me, I did not have Delhi Capitals to begin with in my top 4 when we did the predictions at the beginning, and at that point also I said that I'll be very happy if I'm proven wrong. Again, I'll be very happy if I'm proven wrong.
But you changed
Yeah,
after
I
the
changed
first
it,
match.
but
in one match
yeah,
ke
yeah.
baad. So
Now-
you have Delhi Capitals. in
Yeah,
your
but
top
no,
4.
then also I said that I hope that I'm proven wrong, and today also I say that, because for me, clear cut, I think it's Mumbai Indians. Delhi might just not even have a chance in that game. That's how badly Mumbai Indians can actually thrash the Delhi Capitals at this point of time at Wankhede.
I am not such a no-hoper.
We will
Again,
see.
it's
not about being no-hoper. I'm just going by cricket.
You've been a no-hoper
On
for
paper.
about 3 weeks
Hasn't
now.
it turned out to be exactly like that? Delhi
that's-
Capitals, after winning 4 in 4 games, had to win 4 in the next 10.
If
and this is where we are today. And now you're
so
saying that What will
You
happen
have
if
to-
you even finish fourth? Nothing.
Why?
What will no chance from you won 4 out of 4. From there in the next 10 games you have won just 2
So
and
wha-
1 in super over.
So
that
what?
Too was Rajasthan Royals.
You only get 2 points whether you win in the stipulated 20 overs or in a super
Chalo,
over.
Last 10 games you have won 2.
You don't diss on England for winning the World Cup in a super over. Na? World Cup is a World Cup. So 2 points are 2 points. It doesn't matter
Chalo,
how
we'll
it
see
comes.
how it pans out.
But I'm not going to go with Mumbai.
Okay, so two have gone for Mumbai. You're the third.
Yeah,
vote.
so I'm not going. I'm not surrendering per se. Looking at a Mumbai, and because they're playing at home, I believe Delhi do have the quality to challenge Mumbai. And look at the game in Delhi also that was played. If it wasn't for that absolute Jaffa from Santner, maybe Delhi would have had those 2 points and
Then
that
again,
to
2 points are
Karun Nair. The whole momentum shifted after you saw probably one of the best balls being bowled this tournament. So I see a contest there as well. I'm going 50-50.
Okay, so 2.5. Doesn't matter whatever I cast the vote for. It is Mumbai who get, but my vote also goes to Mumbai. So I think at Wankhede and the better team and the team that's firing more than Delhi, I think they tick all boxes when it comes to the Delhi Capitals. I think MI should win this encounter. They have too much firepower for this Delhi team. Just looking at it from a cricketing point of view. That brings us to the very last game that we have to discuss in the league phases, and that will actually be the last game only, na? Chennai versus SRH.
I think so, yes.
I think no, sorry,
LSG versus SRH.
versus SRH. Yeah. There's
That is going to be.
yeah. So there is also a Gujarat game left, which we will turn our attention to. So there is GT versus CSK. We'll do that and then come to LSG SRH. 2 games we are left with. GT CSK. I'm going to rephrase the question. Anybody voting for CSK in this game? Where is this game being played?
Even if it's played on the moon.
This is in Ahmedabad. This is in Ahmedabad.
With those craters.
Ahmedabad.
GT.
Even if it's played on the moon?
With
GT
craters and everything on
I
those.
think, according to me, it could be Chennai because we've given one upset to SRH. So, with the same logic, I think they won't go down without a fight. And we have seen Mahendra Singh Dhoni's team winning the last game when they're knocked out of the season. So, just by that logic, I think they'll come out with the best plans without any pressure. I think Chennai Super Kings for me.
Okay, 2-1. I'm also obviously better team. So better team Gujarat. I'll vote for Gujarat. They should win this one rather easily, I guess, despite Chennai, in Shashwat's word, having that one upset. I don't see them, but yeah. So 2 points then to Gujarat in that game. We're left with the final game. That's LSG SRH. In the larger scheme of things, the result doesn't matter. So we may reach a situation where when this game is being played, we already know the top 4. But nonetheless, let's be in that situation. Give your points quickly.
LSG.
LSG.
And where is this game being played?
Ekana.
It's in Ekana. I'll also go LSG. So LSG get 2 here and none for SRH. Yes, Harshit?
Yeah, I'm going LSG.
LSG as well. So 4-0. Okay, now get to the exciting part. Let's total up the points. So RCB, let's start with that. They get 2 more. That means they finish with 18 points. Can we have that? 18 points for RCB based on our forecasting. Punjab win all 3. So that is 21. 21 points for Punjab Kings. Wow, what a finish that's going to be. Next is MI, get 4 points. They finish on 18, like the RCB. Pawan? GT finish with, oh my god, 20 points. And DC finish with 14, which means they miss out on the playoff spot. KKR finish with 17. 17. KKR finished with 17, and you know why this exercise is good? Because we discussed all this while that 17 should be good enough for you to qualify. No matter what, that one extra point will help you. But as things stand right now, and as we are doing our predictions, even 17 may not be good enough for a team to qualify, which means at the moment 18 seems to be the minimum guarantee for a team to qualify for the playoffs.
Now just imagine KKR winning the last 5 games, getting to 17 and then missing out. And then go back to that game at Mullanpur.
Yeah,
where they
yeah.
lost
Think
that
about those two
111.
games, na? LSG and Punjab Kings should have easily won both.
So this is based on our prediction. Then it will be PBKS and GT that will finish in the top 2, play qualifier 1. Whereas RCB, MI may play eliminator.
1.
My God, what a juicy contest that is going to be. So yeah, do let us know. Let's quickly go to the comments before we wind up. Have you shown this to everyone who's watching? Basis that 21 points. Table toppers for us are Punjab.
So
followed
Delhi
by
finishing
Gujarat.
6th.
Yeah.
Huh?
6.
Delhi finishing 6th.
Yeah.
6.
Percent of the group stage in
Yeah.
the top 4.
Yep.
Imagine.
Yeah. That's what we reckon. Okay, Shubham Garg says RCB will be wooden spooned and RCB should be afraid of every team. Then RCB will slip out of top 4. Now RCB will lose in qualifiers. He feels that everyone is wishing. Don't take it too personally, Shubham. We tried to be as neutral as possible, all of us. And RCB does make it to our top 4, as you just saw. May not be top 2. Again, these are just predictions based on each matchup that we've come with. And, you know, it's all very fluid. Happy to be proven wrong. But this is what is the best that we could come up with. Again, it's a lot of it based on the ground that they're playing and the form that we've seen of a team. Medan Shroff from UK says at the start, he had predicted MI, RCB, DC, SRH. Looks like he'll get 2 correct, though GT was top heavy, but they are in form and PBKS have done well consistently. That's right. You know, 2 right is generally the trend in IPL predictions. I've seen it over the past. Whether you are a novice, whether you are a enthusiast, whether you are a former player, it just tends to be that much. Seldom does anyone get 3, 4th is next to impossible that anyone gets it right. But that's the beauty of the IPL. Shubham again says batting first has been tricky in Bangalore this year. RCB batted first in all 5 games. MI have won all tosses at home. So in some games this will alter. Correct, but that is also not to say that the result will alter if RCB are batting second or if Mumbai lose a toss. But yes, it's been a factor nonetheless and may not always be helpful going forward. Okay, last couple of comments before we wind up. We've got Saran Chandra who says Sarat Chandra is saying what? Because Dishank said you all are RCB haters, and Sarat Chandra is saying what is the hate in this? It's just their prediction. Yeah, none of them are. Nikhil also says, my namesake says we are RCB haters. That's not true. That's
Arnab
not
Ghosh
true.
has a comment that in the history of the IPL, no team has messed up.
Yeah, but in this case also, we've not had any of the team that have 16 or 16 plus.
RCB have already reached 16, na?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so they are in our playoffs.
No, but what he's trying to say that
It's
I think
KKR.
KKR.
Yeah, that is a possible. It's KKR don't make it. Then that will be for the very first time a team that reaches 17 doesn't make the playoffs.
That'll be very close.
Yeah, it's never happened. That's never happened.
No, I was looking at, I think, Kapan, can you just cross-check once the 2020 points table, the team that finished bottom and the team that finished 4th, I think was only separated by 2
Yeah,
points.
DC had a total of 7 wins. They finished second, and and CSK
So it doesn't get
Yeah.
closer than that.
and CSK
Imagine
had
finish-
just 6 wins. Yes.
Finish,
Yeah.
Check the team that finished 4th. Now check the team that finished last. See, one
big gap.
Yeah.
Okay, final comment from Ram Chandra saying, out of 80 plus players played in top 7 across 10 teams, only 4 have a strike rate less than 100. Maxwell, Manohar, Huda and Pant. Sums up Pant's season. GT versus PBKS final, and PBKS will win. Just wait and watch. That's his prediction. That very well could be true. In fact, based on our prediction, they are the top 2 teams as well in the playoffs.
Top. They're finishing top according to our prediction.
I'm talking about 2. They have finished in our top 2, na? So that's what I'm saying.
Punjab did one extra win, that rained out game.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the final 2 teams. Chalo, on that note, thank you for your comments. For those of you who even thought that we are haters, what can I say? It's entirely up to you. I can't help change your opinion. But yeah, see you for the toss. There's a game coming up and we'll be live as soon as the last ball is bowled for the long discussion.
I don't know, so this sums up the whole shoe thing as well. Are you ordering today then?
I've asked him already when does he want to.
You know, for the little support that you've shown to Delhi, I think he only deserves the shoes.
It's not about little support, it's true. What is true is true. I still continue to support them. I'm not changing my team or anything.
No,
like
but
this.
when you placed a bet, then that was not because of a support, it was a cricketing acumen.
Yeah,
And the
that
bet
was-
happened in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So what were you
No,
thinking?
There, I don't know. What have they done? 4 out of 4. At that time, you had won 4 out of 4, na?
He quickly changed his prediction and put them in the playoffs, and now has removed them also from the playoffs.
They can't. From here, it looks highly unlikely.
Then why did you pick them in the playoffs?
Because at that time, they won
Yeah,
4 out of 4.
I'll just tell you.
You yourself tell me if a team has to win just 4 games in the next 10.
RCB had to do what 8 wins on the trot last season, 6 wins, whatever. They did it right. Bobby giving RCB a chance. Did any of us give RCB that chance? But they did it right.
That RCB team and this DC team, to be very honest.
This DC team is no step down from last year. They are doing much better. They will end up finishing, going by our prediction, at a position worse than last year. They finished 5 last year, missed out only on net run rate.
We'll have a separate show with just Shashwat and Harshit talking about Delhi Capitals. Okay, on that note, guys, take care. Bye-bye.
No Nandri yet, but we see you in just about 20 minutes time with the latest news from that match between SRH and the Delhi Capitals, which will be played at the Uppal Stadium. Stay tuned and thank you for your company. Bye-bye.